Hey friends, quick review on multiplying and dividing fractions. We're going to run through the two strategies for each operation. We've done this before, we've done this for our whole year. You have notes on it, but I'm seeing a few of us forget the basic rules. So please watch this and rewatch this to remember how we multiply and divide fractions. So this is assuming that you've already set up a word problem, chosen the correct operation, and set up your equation. So we're going to work with this problem right here. 1/3. Oh, I turn my pen on. 1/3 times 2/5. If you want to solve this using a model, then you can draw your model. It's one whole. I know that because both of my numbers are less than 1 because I'm multiplying two fractions. So I can model everything I need to on one whole. Then you might remember we take our first fraction, 1/3, and you split it vertically going up and down. And I highlight 1 because my numerator is, thank you, 1. So that's showing me 1/3. But multiplying means the word of. I want 1/3 of 2/5. So to show 2/5, I need to work horizontally to show what's overlapping. So I can split it into, you guessed it, groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes 5 sections. But again, my numerator is 2. So I'm going to only highlight 2 pieces. 1, 2. Now when I get my product, do you remember how we find our numerator? It's how many pieces have both or overlapping. And I see 2 pieces have blue and yellow lines in them. Do you remember our denominator? It's how many pieces there are total. If you take a second to count, you might have already seen we made 15 pieces. So 1/3 of 2/5 is 2/15. Now I can do this same problem another way. 1/3 times 2/5. If you don't have the time to model, if you don't like to draw a picture, maybe you just want to try a new strategy, you can use the algorithm. And remember, all you do with the algorithm, and this is two fractions, not a mixed number. Mixed number, you have to change it first before you multiply. So check my other video to remember that. But if you have two fractions, proper or improper, you can multiply the numerators. 1 times 2 is, you got it, 2. And then you multiply the denominator. 3 times 5 is 15. And that's as easy as it is to use the algorithm to multiply two fractions. Now, if I want to divide, assuming you've already chosen the operation, decided what is a dividend and what's the denominator. Remember, that's really important. But let's say I did that already, and I decided my equation should be 3 divided by 1/3. My dividend's 3, that's my whole number. So I take 3 and I model it, visualizing like that's what I have, whether it's oranges or cookies or whatever you're dividing. This type of problem is asking me how many groups of a third are in 3. I only know that if I take each whole and I divide it into thirds. Then you can simply count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many groups of a third are in 3? 9. That's how you divide a whole number by a fraction. But it's a little bit different if you're dividing a fraction by a whole number. And that looks like this. I'll just flip the problem around. Let's say I have a third divided by 3. These type of problems, you're taking your fraction, which is your dividend this time. This is what I have. And you're dividing into separate groups. It's like a sharing problem. So if I have a third of pan of lasagna left over, right, from dinner, I'm only going to highlight 1/3 because that's my numerator is 1, and that's all I have. So this part is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And let's say I'm taking a third or whatever I have left over, which is a third, and I'm splitting it between 3 people. My problem is how much does each person get? Which is why my numerator is only 1 piece because like Mr. Smith is only going to eat 1 piece. But my denominator, though, is a little bit different because out of the whole pan, how many pieces did I create? And that's where you would count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a third divided by 3 is 1/9. That was the quickest review. So pause it, play this over and over again if you don't remember, and check the notes on your GoFormative because I've uploaded some that should be pretty familiar to you from this year that are in your math section of your binder. So good luck.